Good evening. What if I told you that much of what you believe has been shaped not by independent thought, but by very carefully crafted narratives? What if I told you that powerful interests, governments, media, corporations work tirelessly to influence not just what you think, but what you feel as well? How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome back to Grumpy Acres. This is the next installment in our full spectrum preparedness video series. I like calling this the second chance to say no series because we're going to get another chance to tell these people no, but we have to be educated and we have to understand what's going on. Tonight, we're going to discuss how intelligent minorities manufacture consent, how public figures shape narratives, and why people often underestimate the extent and influence over their beliefs and behaviors. Before we get started, let's hit a couple of admin things. Number one, if you're not a subscriber and you make it to the end of the video and you like this type of content, please think about hitting the subscribe button and come join us on this journey towards a life done free. Next thing. The week before last, we talked about the hypocrisy in the way violence is covered in this country. In the last week, we've gotten a ringside seat on how the narrative is shaped and the hypocrisy of the left and the quote unquote intellectuals are. We've seen it firsthand. They are literally telling you to not believe your eyes. Don't believe what you're seeing on the screen in the fiery cars and the looting and the violence. That's not the truth. The truth is what they tell you, right? And that is why we do this. We're doing this series. All right. With that out of the way, just want to give Local Prepper a shout out. If you guys aren't subscribed to his channel, you should go subscribe to it. He does daily content that's really good. All right. Intelligent minorities engineer consent. And throughout history, small, elite, quote unquote, groups have shaped public opinion using propaganda and psychological manipulation. This isn't conspiracy theory. It's well-documented fact. Edward Bernays, the father of modern propaganda, wrote in his book Propaganda in 1928, the conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Basically, what he's saying is the sheep need to be led. Governments, media conglomerates, corporations, even intelligence agencies use carefully crafted messaging to direct public thought. Think about this, and we've all been exposed to this. War propaganda, turning complex conflicts into simple good versus evil stories. And it works both ways, especially in our country. You know, Fox News used to do very positive stories about our Middle East engagements, whereas CNN and MSNBC painted our soldiers as the bad guys. Next one, corporate advertising. Corporations convince you that happiness comes from their products, plain and simple. Your life is much better. You become a cooler person. You become more intelligent, you become more desirable if you just use their products. And the last one, social engineering. This is pushing cultural shifts through mass media. We've seen this in the modern era since the rise of social media. We have seen this through the algorithms dictating what you see. We've seen it through censorship, and we've got people fighting back. That's one of the things, whether you like Elon Musk or not, the one thing he did was he changed the way social media was heading. And now the people that want to enslave you have to work that much harder. All right. These methods aren't accidental. They follow structured strategies to frame debates, manufacture consent, and suppress dissenting views, all the while making the public believe they've arrived at these conclusions independently. Okay, now here's a question for you, everybody. Can you think of a time when you were convinced to believe something only to later realize it was carefully crafted messaging and campaigns? Tell you what, meandering mentor, go ahead. Have you ever fallen victim to this? I can tell you this, my personal, and this embarrasses the heck out of me. I was all on board with the Patriot Act, and I was all on board with the Iran or the Iraq invasion. I was all on board with that. And it wasn't till later that I realized that I had been duped. And it just really bothers me, even to this day. It really bothers me. Okay, so how do they do this? Public figures and narrative control are the two biggest tools they have. So these public figures, politicians, CEOs, celebrities, they play a crucial role in controlling perception. They use carefully crafted rhetoric to frame events and shape emotional responses. We're seeing that live today. If you turn on any news station, national news station, cable news networks, whatever, you're going to see this in action. They are pushing a narrative, and they are trying to get you to believe that what you're seeing is not happening. You know, a big one was Richard Nixon's famous line, "I am not a crook." You know, and instead of reassuring the public, his choice of words planted the very idea of guilt in people's minds, and the people that were against him ran with it. Here's another one. Think about how politicians pivot during scandals. When they get caught, they rarely deny it outright. Instead, they reframe the issue. This is a distraction. We're hearing this a lot from the real issues that affect hardworking Americans. Or I take full responsibility without actually taking any consequences. You can't have responsibility without consequences. If you question this, you are spreading disinformation. How many times did we hear that? Just off the top of your heads. Off the top of your heads. How often have we seen this through public figures deflecting blame or shifting the focus during a scandal? Have you ever noticed this tactic being used in the media? I think I know what the answer to that is, but I want to throw that out there for anybody that hasn't given it a lot of thought. Just think about that, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. You know, and beyond politics, corporations do the same. When a scandal breaks, their PR firms flood the media with crisis response statements. Safety is our top priority. Who does that sound like? Sig Sauer's marketing department. Even when their product's causing harm, but they're out there telling you that it's safe as can be. The next one, we are committed to diversity and inclusion, to shield them against criticism. How many companies over the last 4 years took that DEI route and made that their mission statement solely so they could keep the liberal masses from rising up against them? You know, and the whole thing about these narratives is it's not about the truth. It's about controlling the story before it controls them. DEI must die. Okay, moving on. Good thing about the last 4 years. It was so blatant that people are finally waking up. But even then, they still underestimate the influence that these people have over them. And this is where things get really tricky. Many people know that they are being manipulated, but they underestimate how deeply it affects them. Think about this. Social media algorithms. These decide what you see, influencing your opinions without you realizing it. If you take a little bit of time and pay attention what comes through your feed on YouTube or Facebook or X, you'll notice a pattern and you'll see where they're trying to push you to believe. And it's a very subtle tool. The next one, repetition creates reality. My gosh, you've seen the montage. You've seen the montage where they start putting talking heads up on the screen and it creates a great big grid and they're all saying the same thing. Now, part of that is because they've gotten lazy and they're all getting their information from the same source. They're copied from the same source. But in reality, the people that are giving them this copy, these sources, are the ones feeding them and helping them manipulate you. Oh, okay. Next one. Uh-oh, I just lost my... There it is. There it is. You know, there's a lot of psychological factors involved in this, understanding the manipulation. Groupthink. We are all guilty of this at some point. We fall into line with what everybody else is thinking, and we lose track of the truth. Hang on a second, guys. I'm having technical difficulties here. You know, the next one, cognitive dissonance. So cognitive dissonance is caused whenever the facts disagree with what you believe. And a lot of people get angry and they will double down on their beliefs, even if they are provably wrong. And again, the power of repetition. This has been an age-old thing, you know. And there's examples of this. Examples of this, as I said, we've got the social media algorithms, the influencer culture, and if anybody calls themselves an influencer, they are telling you exactly what they are. What they're going to do to you. They're going to try to influence you. And the big corporations, they sponsor these people and they push the same stories over and over again. And then selective censorship. How many times have we seen where one side is censored and the other side is allowed to free reign? I mean, how many people that questioned the official narrative of the COVID crisis were censored? All right. So now that we've looked at people waking up, you know what? Hang on. Before we go any further, I want to talk to you guys about something that's going on. Time to try to pay some bills. Right there. Uh-oh. Time to pay some bills. Boom. Jace is having a Father's Day sale. You get 25 off the case, or I can't even read that. But you get $25 off for Father's Day, US only, and they've still got their $1 ivermectin addition to the Jace cases or the kids cases. Use that QR code right there in front of you, and you can go directly to their site, or you can go down in the description below. And by helping yourself, you're helping the channel do a better job for you, because everything that we make on the YouTube channel goes directly into making the production better for everybody. Okay. With that said, go out and get that stuff, guys. Seriously, time's coming. The time's coming that the stuff is going to be really important, and it may be hard to find. All right. So how do we recognize and resist manipulation? First thing, the most important thing out there, teach critical thinking skills, question sources, analyzing motivations, and understanding framing. That's what we talked about in some of the previous videos, how they do this. And it's really important when you're dealing with younger adults and children, because schools have quit teaching critical thinking. It's not in the curriculum anymore. So it's up to us as parents and concerned adults to help these kids. And anybody under the age of 30 is a kid for me. I'm just saying it. Don't be offended. It's our responsibility to help them understand critical thinking and to develop these tools and these skills, right? The next one is discuss media literacy and how to spot misleading information. This is one of the reasons I am not a subscriber yet, but I hopefully one day will be. That's why I like Ground News. They provide a bias. They show you which news sources are biased each way, and they show you how balanced everybody's reporting is, and it allows you to see both sides of the story without compromising anything. I don't think anybody that in the chat or anybody that's watching this video is going to have a problem with this next one. We need to encourage skepticism, right? We need to be able to do that without falling into cynicism and conspiracy. And it's really easy to do. It's easy to fall into cynicism. You know, I can't tell you how many times when we're talking about these things that people, it's over. It's all done. There's no sense fighting it. It's just we're going to lose. Or they come up with these conspiracy theories. This is why I really dislike the whole Q phenomena. And I literally call people Q-tards because they are manipulated into believing that stuff, hook, line, and sinker, without any payback. Nothing that was said. I mean, it was so enigmatic that you could do any, you can make it seem anything you wanted. All right. Next one. Provide practical steps. We need to diversify news sources. Again, this is why I'm a big proponent of Ground News. We need to fact check claims. This goes back to doing your own research. Don't believe what somebody else is saying. Go look at it yourself and use critical thinking to come to your own conclusions. And the next one, and this is a big one, and a lot of people fall a victim to this. Be aware of emotional triggers. Understand what triggers you emotionally. The Babylon Bee. I love the Babylon Bee. They do such good satire that unless you look at where the source is coming from, they will trigger you emotionally. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen people cite a Babylon Bee article as being a legitimate news article. So we need to understand what triggers us individually. All right, getting close to the end here. Gonna go over some points in the conclusion here. Manipulation of public perception is an ongoing, sophisticated process, and unless you intentionally learn how to combat it, you will fall victim to it time and time again. Vigilance. It is our responsibility to have vigilance and self-awareness when consuming information. The vigilance comes in the act of not living in an echo chamber. This is one of the reasons why social media sites like Democrat Underground and Blue Sky fail, is because they're echo chambers. And there's echo chambers on the right too. I try to stay away from them. Free Republic can become an echo chamber sometimes. The survivalist boards can be a very, very toxic echo chamber sometimes, as far as the prepping and preparedness community goes. So yeah, they're out there on both sides. So we need to be careful of what we consume. And here's the last thing I want to ask you. This is the last question. And this, I want to see an answer. I want to see answers in chat here. How much of what you believe is truly your own opinion? How much of what you believe is truly your own opinion? Do you think that you're totally immune to this and you've never been manipulated by it? Or do you understand that there's times that you have been victimized by this sophisticated operation that they've got going on? Well, you guys are thinking about that question. I want to reiterate to people, if you made it this far into the video, you made it to the end, hit that subscribe button, give us a big thumbs up. We talk about things like this, preparedness, and this is a preparedness thing. And mental preparedness is one of the aspects of full spectrum preparedness. But mental preparedness and prepping and homesteading and all the moving parts that contribute to our liberty and our pursuit of a life done free. That's what we talk about, and we would love for you to come join us. Next thing, as I said before, if you guys want to help the channel, we want you to help yourself first. All the links in the description below are for our affiliate links, and these are products that we use. We're not pushing any product that we do not use on a regular basis. So get out there and find something that could help you down the road, and by doing that, you'll be helping us. And then finally, comments. I want to hear your comments. Get in the comments after this video is processed and is a done deal, and let me know what you think about this topic and the manipulation that news media, celebrities, governments, corporations. Think about all the manipulation and how much influence they have, not necessarily over your life, but over the lives of people around you. And when you bring it up, don't be the crazy guy. All right. You cannot be the crazy guy. You have to be composed, and it has to be a measured response. And you have to know what you're talking about. And again, the emotional trigger. Don't let their digging their heels in because you create cognitive dissonance for them. Don't let that trigger you emotionally, and then you come off as a completely unhinged individual. All right. As always, folks, when you put your head on your pillow tonight, you better be able to tell yourself, I'm better off this evening than I was when I woke up. And tomorrow, you're going to go out and you're going to pursue a life done free. All right, guys, take care, and thanks for showing up.